After the Viltrumite was captured, Goku and the others stayed behind to guard her and make sure she would not escape and cause more trouble. But, even more important, they waited for her to regain consciousness so that Cecil could question her and extract as much information as possible about the Viltrumites or the next invasion. After hours of constant vigilance, Anissa began to show signs of consciousness and her breathing grew more labored. One could still see traces of scratches and dried blood as her eyes snapped open. "Where am I?" The Viltrumite spoke while trying to stand, which caused a jolt of pain to shoot through her body from the wounds of the fight, making her recoil and clutch her fractured ribs. "That bastard!" Behind a polarized glass, Cecil watched the scene while adjusting the intercom volume. Beside him stood Goku, Nolan, and Mark. The atmosphere was tense, even for someone as relaxed as Goku, who had his arms crossed and a somewhat uncertain expression. "She's finally awake. Goku, you go in first. Nolan and Mark, I want you to watch, but do not intervene for now, unless she turns violent. If she reacts badly, Goku, you restrain her. If she tries to escape, I want Nolan to deal with her. There won't be a second warning." "Understood." After their exchange, Goku passed through the doorway that led him into the corridor in front of the cell. Seeing him approach, Anissa instinctively stepped back. "Are you here to finish me off?" "I'm not here for that. There's something else we need to talk about." "Talk? I don't know who you think you are if you believe everything works that simply. You're a strange, monstrously powerful being." "I'm not a monster. I only did what was necessary to keep you from hurting anyone else. You came here to force Mark to conquer his planet. Doesn't that strike you as monstrous?" "It's our mission, our duty. You don't understand what it means to be a Viltrumite." "I understand more than you think. I've fought beings like you, people who believed conquest was the only thing that gave meaning to their lives, and they all ended the same. I'm not like them. The Viltrumite Empire is the ultimate force." While Goku watched her, he remembered the question Cecil wanted him to ask the Viltrumite during the time she had been unconscious. "Then why are you here? Who else is coming? What do you know?" Anissa did not answer right away. Her gaze shifted between Goku's serene expression and the reflection of her own face. At that moment, she saw no way out. Only a being whose strength was abyssally superior and whose calm disturbed her more than any scream or threat. Goku himself. Meanwhile, from the observation room, Cecil leaned toward the microphone so they could hear him. "Anissa, this is Cecil Stedman. I know what you are, I know where you come from, but right now you have two options. Cooperate with us and leave this alive, or cling to your loyalty to an empire that already writes you off as dead." Anissa frowned at Cecil's words, a mere human to her. What did you say?" "You haven't seen any reports. Your locator's damaged. To them, you failed. Do you know what happens to agents who fail? They get replaced, which means more are coming, and probably worse than you." "What Cecil says is true. I was one of theirs, just another cog in the machine. If I didn't complete my mission, another would, and they wouldn't hesitate to kill me if I became an obstacle. Do you really want to stay disposable? Because if you do, all that awaits you here is death, whether at my hands or the Empire's." After hearing that, Anissa fell silent. For the first time in a long while, she had no answer, yet she refused to abandon the Empire. Goku took another step, ending up just a few meters from her. "I can't speak for the rest, but I must tell you I'm not here to destroy you, unless you try again. If you put Mark or this planet at risk, I won't hesitate next time, and I think you already saw that in our fight." "Given how things stand, they'll surely send someone in the next solar cycles. And not just anyone, but a top-tier Viltrumite, Conquest. If he comes, none of this or what you're doing will matter. And if they find out there's such a powerful being on Earth, Thrag will see you as a threat they can't ignore and will send the rest of the elite to eradicate you. Besides, in their forces is General Craig, but he and the rest of the Viltrumites fear Thrag more than any enemy. If he orders this world wiped out, they'll do it without hesitation." The atmosphere grew heavier. The name Thrag dropped like a bomb in the room. Cecil, Goku, Nolan, and Mark fell silent for a moment. Only the hum of the monitors broke the tension. Nolan recognized that name immediately, along with Conquest, knowing the danger they posed. Who the hell is Thrag? He's the last man you'd want to see arriving on this planet. Start talking, Nolan. We don't have time for detours. Nolan remained thoughtful while staring at Anissa on the monitors, seeing the Viltrumite now sitting in a corner of the cell in front of Goku, whom she feared because of his unknown race and immense power. After processing it, Nolan decided to say what he knew about those Viltrumites. Conquest, Craig, and Thrag, they aren't simple soldiers. They are the best of the Empire, or rather, the worst. Together, they're a planet-level threat. No army on Earth can face them. Tell us about them. Try not to omit details because it could be crucial. Conquest is a veteran, ancient even by our standards. He lost an arm and half his face in one of the Empire's most brutal expansion wars, and still returned to the front before fully healing. He lives for battle and is obsessed with conflict. For him, conquest isn't duty, it's pleasure, and he has no remorse. If he comes to Earth, he won't try to persuade Mark, he'll force him by beating him. None of that sounds favorable to us, but go on. What about Craig? He's a relentless strategist. Not the strongest physically, but if he arrives, you won't see him coming. If Thrag sends him, it'll be to weaken us before a frontal attack. And Thrag, what makes him so special? Thrag isn't just a Viltrumite. He's the end product of generations of Imperial eugenics, trained from birth. He's the last great leader of the royal lineage. The only reason the Empire still exists is because Thrag is alive. Sounds like someone terrifying. After Nolan's words, the room fell silent. They didn't know what to say in the face of such discouraging news. Soon after, Nolan left the observation room and went to Anissa's cell, entering to speak with Goku about it. Listen, Goku, this is very serious, and I'm sure you didn't hear any of it because you were here with Anissa, but Thrag is the ruler of the Viltrumites, and if he thinks a planet isn't worth trouble, he erases it. If he learns you're a threat to the Empire, he'll come with everything he has.
You're right, Nolan. If the Empire knew what I saw, and were aware of the magnitude of what this being called Goku can do, they wouldn't hesitate to find a way to destroy the planet. I know, because I've never seen anything like it. Not on the warfields, not in rebellions, not in combats between Viltrumites. That being called Goku doesn't fight with rage or a thirst to kill. He fought as if he were holding back something infinitely worse. Every blow of his was measured, calculated, merciful. But there are no limits in him. I could feel it when my punches didn't even move him. There's a terrifying power in him. Even if such an abnormal and unknown being as Goku survives the attack, humanity surely will not.
Anissa lowered her head after speaking. Her pride was still a chain for her, but Goku's shadow lingered in her mind. For the first time, she clearly saw that the Viltrumite Empire was not invincible. Goku did not understand her attitude toward him. It confused him because he was not the terrifying being she imagined.
I'm not going to give you every detail, but I will give you enough so you know what awaits you. It's inevitable.
After the whole conversation, Cecil instructed everyone to leave the cell so they could talk it over. After all, the Viltrumite was in no condition to fight or break free, much less with Goku nearby. Once Goku and the others gathered with Cecil in the observation room, they pondered the situation.
Do you really think we can beat those guys?
I don't know, but with Goku on our side, there's a chance.
Right, but it won't be something that only requires strength. It'll take resolve, and if they come, we'll decide that this planet won't fall without a fight.
Goku spoke while clenching his fist with determination.
Besides, I find it interesting to fight the Viltrumite ruler.
Goku's final comment left a strange echo in the room. The possibility of war against the Viltrumite Empire had everyone tense. But for him, it was a chance to measure himself against opponents never seen before while protecting the planet. His attitude contrasted with the concern on the faces of Nolan, Cecil, and Mark, who knew a battle against Thrag could mean the end of humanity as they know it. Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we're talking about an existential threat. If what Anissa says is true, we must prepare right now.
I know, I won't take it lightly, but I'm not going to let fear decide for me. If we're gonna fight Thrag and his elite, determination is what we'll need to protect this planet.
I hope that confidence is justified. Thrag has no honor. He doesn't fight fair. And if he thinks he can kill you at your weakest point, he will.
How does one prepare for something like that?
Cecil turned to his screen where they were already downloading recordings of Anissa's statements. After a couple of seconds in silence, he switched off the monitor and sighed. For now, we'll leave her where she is. She has no intention of escaping, especially in her condition, but I need you and Nolan to watch her in shifts. Goku, I don't want it to cross her mind to slip past you. If she tries to escape, I want you to stop her at once.
Don't worry, I can sense her ki even without seeing her. She's not going anywhere without me knowing. It's been a very complicated day, but I'll stay alert.
Don't worry, Mark. I know it must be hard to face all this because you were raised on Earth. For now, go home and process it, so you'll be ready to act.
Yes, Dad. That's what I'll do. I guess I'll see you later. Take care. We'll be close if anything comes up.
Good luck, Mark. Look after your brother and your mother.